No, I've only been here like 24 hours. Do you want to hear my story?
Yeah.
I've been unemployed for about a year and a half now. I had a major medical situation, and for a 1 month period, out of like maybe 5 months out of my entire life when I didn't have health insurance, I shattered my shoulder in 5 places, spent my 65 grand in life savings, spent a year and a half. Oh, and then right away, my mother had a stroke, and I had to go down to Florida and take care of her for a few months. Came back here, then sent out thousands of resumes, unemployment, the whole 9 yards. My business? What I do is I'm a creative director for children's television. So much of that work has migrated to other places where they actually fund it. If you turn on PBS here, or Cartoon Network, or Nickelodeon, or any of those networks, you'll see that a majority of the shows at the end have a little stamp on it that say CMF, the Canadian Media Fund. The Canadian government provides up to 40% of funding for children's television.
Wow.
So, much of kids' animation has left the US and gone to Canada, gone to Japan, gone to the Philippines, gone to all those places, because it's not subsidized here.
Right.
When my company closed, 150 people were employed there. Gone. About half the animators went to Canada, because you get work there. And it's really kind of sad, because the most valuable commodity we have as a country is our children's minds, and if we can't custom cater to that in this country, then I don't know, it doesn't speak very highly of us as a country. But for me, finance was a tipping point that brought me here. My situation was so bad and so bleak and so dark that I had to do something dramatic in the next 24, 48 hours. I'd lost my apartment on the Upper East Side. All my stuff is in storage, so I'm surviving. You know, underneath me, I've got my computer with all my kids' shows on it, all my best stuff on it. That and my iPhone. If it weren't for Steve Jobs, God rest his soul, I have no idea what kind of activity I'd have in the world right now. Yeah, exactly. We hold on to the one few precious things that are really, really valuable, like our Apple Tech. Yeah, if once you lose your Apple Tech, then you're at a whole new level that you have to recover from. You can be homeless and hungry, but if you're homeless and hungry without your Apple Tech, then you're really screwed. Like, I've spoken to people in the industry, yeah, people in the industry who are here, and basically yeah, I'm here, I'm about to be homeless, I'm about to be kicked out, I wanted to come down and support, the other producers and stuff like that, so it's unreal, it's unbelievable. And I'm in a very particularly specialized kind of situation, because there isn't a huge population pool of people who do work in the industry, since you asked. So mine is a, small pool of occupants in terms of the U.S. in general. So, yeah, as this broaches, as the problem, the unemployment rate gets larger and larger, and it affects, pools much bigger than the kids' television pool, the consequences are going to be much more dynamic. And we're saying this is our own milder, tamer Arab Spring. I just hope that we can get enough attention without, violence, to get Congress not to be so self-serving. And something's got to change in our political system. I'd like it to, I don't know, I'm holding out hope. I still have hope in there. I'm a hopey, changey, feely kind of guy. Occupy Wall Street, but it's gonna keep going indefinitely. It's gonna keep going indefinitely, yeah. The heart and soul is jobs, the economy, we are the 99%. That's the main movement. And of course, besides the main movement, you've got all these fringe elements of people saying, I'm here for this and that, and in all peace movements, if you look throughout history, you have, a bunch of different messages, but, a main core message, so yeah, that's the key, I see a lot of, wingnuts next to, geniuses here. Personal situations flock together like moths to a flame, I see a lot of young homeless people around. What am I feeling? I'm feeling shame, disgust, beyond depression, all those things. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable I'm in the situation I'm in, where a year and a half ago, I had an over six-figure salary job. I'm a caring, compassionate, tenacious, intelligent person, you know? I've spent my life helping other causes. And to be myself now as the one needing help, it's really difficult. And the fact that for the past 6 months, my pride has really affected my ability to take help that, you know, maybe I should have or could have taken earlier, so it's bad. It's bad. And, you know, it's tough as a guy. I mean, I know that sounds stupid because it's tough for anybody, but for me, for some reason, it's really tough as a guy. Because as a guy, you're like, I'm the provider. I take care of things, you know? For years, that's how I've done it. You know, send money to my family in Florida, you know? And my mom's suffering, you know? I had to keep her healthy and all these things, so it's tough. It's tough. And you can't let yourself get too upset or too emotional because then that doesn't get you or keep you the ability to plow forward. But at the same time, the more your self-esteem is undermined by not having work, the more it makes it really difficult to get work. And I never understood that before. I mean, I understood homeless people. I've always had major compassion. You know, I've had homeless people live in my house. When I lived in Venice Beach, California, I had homeless people literally live in my house and feed them. Have them all over for Thanksgiving dinner and feed them all. But you never think the full circle is going to come full circle to you. So what happens actually as you start, as the pieces just start to fall off the machine of your human life? You know, as you lose your job like I did, your stuff goes into storage, or you lose your health insurance, all the pieces start to fall away. And it's really tough to reconstitute them. It's tough to gain the will to fight. I mean, I've still got a fighting spirit. But just some days I'm so low, I'm just like, fuck it, you know? I applied to everything. I wasn't just like, no, I'm only going to take creative director jobs. No, I applied to Walmarts, over 40 Walmarts. I applied vocal, I applied to everything. And I'm in a particularly weird situation, being a 40-year-old guy who's just a little bit out of that young, eager, new trainee role for a ground zero job. But yet, my resume is too big to even show some places. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But having been a performer, I'm a sad guy. I've done like a ton of commercials in my life. Oh yeah, I'm a stand-up comedian. I've performed in clubs all over town. I've been on Conan O'Brien, Comedy Central, one of the first few white Def Comedy Jam winners. Oh yeah, Showtime's White Boys in the Hood, filmed like 3-4 years ago. You can find it online. But, not so funny. I don't feel like doing comedy now. Oh, that's a mic check. They don't allow microphones here. The police won't allow any projected sound. So it's a communicative effort, the mic check, to get as many people gathered around to get out that central message of that one central person.